The Raygun has spoken. The Raygun has spoken. The eagle is landed. The Raygun has spoken. The British are coming. The Raygun has spoken, folks. This is breaking news. This is a huge headline. Happy Arvo. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this exciting story where Raygun, remember her, the lady who broke danced poorly at the Olympics. Just as we were about to all forget about her, she has come online, or rather onto TV, for her first full-length interview since the debacle. So I saw these news headlines pop up, which are just hilarious. They are literally the most clickbait. Clickbait has evolved so much over the last 5 to 10 years, I feel like, or even in the last just few years, to where every news article is just clickbait now. You have no idea what's true, what's fake, what to believe. Everything is just super exaggerated. But I haven't watched the interview yet. Maybe it's all true. Raygun makes alarming revelation in TV interview after spilling the beans on Olympic Games furor. I didn't know there were beans to spill. Australian breakdancer Raygun's startling confession in sit-down interview since Olympics disaster. I've got it right here, folks. The Project. Check them out. I think what I'm going to do is react to the first few minutes of this exciting interview. And then I'm probably just going to watch it like myself and come back to you if there's anything exciting or interesting. Let's see what she has to say for herself.
Gun, thanks very much for joining us.
Here she is.
How are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild ride. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely have my ups and downs, my good and bad days, but It has been honestly so amazing to see the positive response to my performance. Like, I never thought that I would be able to
positive response
connect with so many people in such a positive way. So that has been just so amazing. But yeah, it definitely has been tough at times. Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I can well imagine. How dark did it get for you?
What is this? I feel like I'm watching some kind of weird Black Mirror Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
It definitely has been tough at times.
Like the music, I don't know. This is odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can well imagine. How?
Like, is she being interviewed or playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? What is this set? What is this music? What is going on? It looks like it reminds me of that Apple commercial. You've seen the famous Apple commercial?
Where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth.
How dark did it get for you?
How dark did it get? My God. This feels a little bit dramatic.
Fortunately, I got some mental health support pretty quickly, and I also went off social media. I went off the internet, but it's pretty up and down, but it's also just hard to process it all, honestly. Like, it's just...
I could imagine that is true. You know, it would be hard to process.
Still pretty hard to process.
This became...
If I was her, I'd be milking it. You know, I don't know what she's been doing for the last month. I would be milking this. This is her chance to make $1 million. Doing something, I don't know, shows. She could be an opening act to like at a comedy club or something.
Such a glow.
Just doing her breakdancing stuff. No offense or anything. It would just, you know, it would kill. It would absolutely kill.
Storm. How much of it were you aware of?
Not a lot, actually, because as soon as I finished, my rounds,
We got a music switch up.
my media liaison from the AOC said, "Oh, there's a bit of a storm brewing on social media. You might want to go off socials." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't understand the scale of it, and then I did, preview some comments, and
Damn, you embarrassed your country. You're not the victim.
I was like, "Oh no!" And
Wait, was that a news headline? Or just
this kind of sick feeling started.
Such confidence with such a weak performance. Okay, these are like comments. I thought these were news headlines, the way they have them framed up like that. These are just comments from some random people on Instagram.
Started coming out.
I like how there's the little emoji.
I was like, oh goodness, what has happened?
People said mean things on the internet. You're not different. You're completely unqualified.
The immediate
She's definitely different.
aftermath must have been hard. I mean, there's that famous footage of Australian journalists running after you while you're walking down the street.
Have you got a message for the people who've been writing stuff online, guys?
It must have been unlike anything you've ever experienced
Do you think
before.
people have been unfair about your performance?
What was that moment like?
That was really wild. So that was the next day. I was actually calling my media liaison going, these people are chasing me, what do I do? But that really did put me in a state of panic for a while after that. And I was quite nervous being out in public because I just didn't know what was...
I mean, I don't think she's like in danger. I don't think people are going to beat you up or anything.
safe if it...
But they might be mean. Honestly, I don't know. I'm sure people have been mean in person, maybe.
anyone was going to recognize me, if, you know, how
I
they...
think most people would be happy to see her. They'd be like, oh my God, like that was so funny. Which might not be what you want to hear as an Olympian.
they were going to respond
But still.
to seeing me, and it was
I think
pretty
you should just embrace it.
nerve-wracking for a while there. Yeah.
I think the moment where I thought, okay, this is wild, this is now out of control, was when I saw the sketch on Jimmy Fallon. And it's just, like, wow.
You have to wonder where Raygun is right now. Where's that music coming from?
This sketch, honestly, it was funny, but it wasn't much of a sketch. It was mostly just like...
What was going through your mind when that happened?
Mixed emotions, I think. Like, I don't know whether to, like, hug him or yell at him, because what a platform he ended up giving me, like, honestly. I haven't actually seen the sketch because I don't think I'm in a place yet to watch it, but I will watch it at some point. And, you know, a few different people have kind of explained it to me and given me different
She did do a good job, though. I forget her name.
takes on it. But I am still in the process of being able to describe how...
I mean, the sketch wrote itself. It was literally just doing her dance moves. That's the sketch.
I feel about all this stuff, because it kind of feels like a really weird dream that I've been having that I'm going to wake up from at any moment. Like, what is life right now?
What about the performance?
For $1 million, the next question is...
Now,
What about the performance itself? Have you watched that back?
I haven't watched it back, no.
Oh,
That's
she hasn't watched her own performance.
not unusual for me, though. I'm not great at watching back my battles. Well, it's been a month, Rachel. It's still going to take me some time, I think. I think I've seen little bits and pieces, but yeah, I'll watch it eventually.
You eventually did speak out about the backlash to your performance on a social media post.
I'm glad I was able to bring some joy into your lives. That's what I hoped.
That message, at least she's been kind of consistent with it, although it's a very odd, contradictory message. It's like, I'm so happy, I brought so much positivity and joy, and I'm devastated, and I hate everybody.
I didn't realize that would also open the door to so much hate.
What did you have in mind there?
It was really sad how much hate that it did evoke. And
Thank you for being the perfect example of just because you think you can doesn't mean you should.
a lot of the responses, though, is also just due to people not
I'm more concerned with I'm more concerned with who qualified her. These people should be fired. Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
being very familiar with breaking.
And it's not really her fault for showing up. It's a little bit delusional to show up, but the fact that they actually, qualified her and sent her off to Paris, that's the real crime.
and the diversity of approaches in breaking. And it was so fantastic that the next day the judging chair, MG, came out and explained that, you know, in the breaking community, what I did actually wasn't very shocking. You know, it's just a different approach in breaking. You have the athletic style breakers, and you also have the more artistic style breakers, and all of them are very valid. But
all of them are very valid, folks. I like the idea that, like, under that definition, pretty much anything is breakdancing. You know what I mean? Like, you could get up there. You could get up there and do some kind of, like, you could just kneel down and pray. You know, there's religious breaking. It's all valid. It's all breaking to somebody. I think I'm going to go ahead and just watch the rest of this, because I'm not going to just make you guys, I'm not going to react to the entire thing. I'm going to watch the rest of it, and I'll come back at you if there's anything notable. Okay, I just finished the interview. Wow. Go check it out for yourself. Link down below. I know people weren't going to understand my style. Nah, girl. No one expected you to flounder like a fish. She scored 3 zeros, so her performance was technically the worst performance you can do. Well, no, you could definitely do worse. You know what I mean? You could do worse. It's just, she got the worst possible score. That's true. That's true. She can't even stand to watch her own performance. Interesting. I guess my main takeaway, my overall thoughts about it is kind of realizing that she views breakdancing as like an interpretive dance, which is not really so much how the rest of the world views breakdancing, and is also kind of incompatible with the Olympics. Like an interpretive dance would never be an Olympic sport. You know, how do you judge that? And I don't think interpretive dancer, like artsy fartsy type stuff, has its place, but it's usually not like in a competition. It kind of goes against the whole, you know, oh yeah, we're all just interpreting the world through you know, the beautiful kangaroo. It hops. You know, that's something, and people do, you know, it was entertaining. But as far as like judging it in a competition, it's just kind of incompatible. I don't know. Like I said, if I was her, I'd be milking it. I'd be trying to make $1 million off this. As far as the beans being spilled, I'm still looking for them. I didn't really see any beans. It was a decent enough interview. It was fun. It was interesting. And revelation, let's see it. Let me go back to these news headlines. Alarming revelation. I don't know what that was referring to. And the beans being spilled. Startling confession. I didn't hear that. I must have missed that part, even though I paid attention to the entire interview. But it was good enough. We'll see if we ever have to talk about Raygun again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching.